It's pretty heated out there right now in our nation and I guess across the world. I'm not sure, but at least around our country over the topic of racial discrimination, racism, and you know, I wanted to share my thoughts on that. As a way of maybe helping who anybody who watches this video, maybe I'll get criticized, but I'm 100% Mexican, Hispanic descent, I guess. My great grandparents came from Mexico all the way up through Texas, ended their way up in Amarillo. I saw the green cards. It's kind of cool. Um, and that's where my bloodline starts. All throughout life, um, I served in the United States military. I was in the Marines, RAW. I have a college graduate degree. Um, I'm in recovery, so I've had some tough times. Did I experience discrimination? Looking back, I think I did. But I just never let it affect me. To get where I wanted to go and to do what I wanted to do. And I'm not saying that there shouldn't be advocates out there at all, but I think there's always going to be someone who just doesn't like you for whatever reason, whether it's your color, your skin, or racism. But I just never let it stop me. But but I want to share a testimony that I think is kind of like really cool. When I met my wife, now she's blonde hair, blue eyes, greenish eyes, gorgeous. I love you, honey. Um, and she's German descent, Scandinavian, Russian, I think's in there. And we used to have these frustrations and anger when we first started dating, and also when we were married early on, over the topic of time. um, One culture and another had a different value of what it meant to like really be on time. So we used to get into little arguments like when I would show up late or and what is a big deal, like all this pressure that you have to be on time, and oh my gosh, it's like a crime is going to be committed here. But we came to an understanding. One of the family members, I won't say who, had kind of noticed something. He said, this might be a culture thing. That one culture, a cultural thing, one culture values time differently than the other culture, and us being, me anyway, not putting a high value on it. And so we came up with this little deal that when it came to medical appointments or dinner reservations where we were, going together as a group, weddings. There were just certain situations where we would say you'd have to be on time, and we call that Schmidt time. It's so funny. And when, just social, within reason, I couldn't show up hours and hours late, but we would call it Ramirez time. So when we would talk about like getting together and when it came to time, we would just say, is that Ramirez time or is that Schmidt time? And I don't think that's racism or discrimination or one is better than the other. And we talked about that. Like if you're not on time or, however you value it, no one is better than the other. I mean, come on. I call that like, man, like pure, man, just pure love and an acknowledgement of a difference in the way we view things, different values, and coming to an understanding. I just adore my family. I love my family, and that's what we came to. And I'm wondering if, on some level, that our nation can kind of come that way or look at it that way. That we just have different values, and because of that, we're better for it. And when we come to an understanding, it's pretty awesome.